Hey everybody, it's TheModernNative. This is Native. We wanted to do a trail update with our plans coming up soon and over the next few days. And do a little fundraising to try to be able to go down and do a resupply so we have enough to be able to get to the next town. I'm hoping my signal cooperates with me. Earlier it didn't, and it's sitting in a low spot right now, which is unhappy. One little thing I've noticed is actually having the walkie next to it increases the signal, which is stupid. But it also makes sense because it's almost like a antenna. So there might be a little bit of lag. There might be a little bit of cutting in and out, but we'll try to keep this going for a little bit. I don't have much battery tonight, but we're gonna hang out with you guys, see who pops in, and hopefully be able to get some stuff done. Everybody on the replay, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry we missed you. To everybody, I didn't drop a code word in my live earlier because it was just about having a moment of silence to remember those that we've lost recently. So I appreciate everybody who popped in for that. Yeah, I keep feeling like the darkness on my head. Did get some new feathers today. The wife found some. See, the second I put that up, it goes dark. Got some more feathers added to my hat. So, a lot of fun. I enjoy finding them. I enjoy when the wife finds them and I can add to my hat.
I enjoy finding.
It's like my own little modern native headdress that I'm building. So hopefully we have some people pop in and hang out. Hopefully we'll be able to get some donations so that way I can go down and do a resupply. Our supplies are getting dangerously low, and I don't know how far we're going to make it before I have to start living off the land. Which I can do. It's totally fine. It just will take time out of hiking, walking, camping, etc. Making videos for you guys. Because a lot of it I won't be able to capture simply because it's not something YouTube likes. But I will include it on my Patreon when I am having to do that. The hunting, the gathering, foraging, things like that. I will be including the stuff that I can't include on YouTube on Patreon. I just hope my signal stays consistent. And I hope some people pop in and say hi. Unfortunately, my buddy didn't show up today. He's been out hiking, stuff like that. Totally get. So it's a rough time. So it's hard to keep some things straight. Indian Hemlock, how's it going? We're doing a little trail update. Sunday, tomorrow, her aunt will be stopping up to drop off our PayPal cards that came in. That was one of the things we've been waiting for to be able to continue on our path because there's some funds I can't spend on my PayPal because it's euros and it won't let me get it onto my card. So it's a good thing it's going good there for you. We're doing all right. We're trying to raise some funds to be able to do one last supply run. I'm still close enough to town that I can run down and do a supply run and resupply. But once we start moving Monday morning, I'm going to be too far away from town to be able to go down and do a resupply. So we're hoping to be able to get some donations because our supplies are running dangerously low. So we've got maybe about a week's worth of food left, which I'll be able to get a good distance down the trail before we start having to hunt and forage together for what we need. But that's why I'm trying to do one last ditch effort to get some donations through PayPal, Cash App, whichever way. If people have me on Facebook, they can do MetaPay. Now that it's not called Facebook Pay. The metaverse. But we're doing pretty good, all things considered. Um, got some storms coming in the next couple of days, which unfortunately it's right on the day that I want to move. So
We'll be,
yeah,
if it doesn't, then we'll be moving that day. But
if I can figure out a way to be able to move in the rain, it's fine. If not, with how we have to pack things up and everything, either which way, it'll make it a little bit harder to move, even in the rain. So mileage will be slow at first, but we are cutting down on a lot of our unnecessities. The bare necessities.
don't do that. Get in trouble.
Right now, we're pretty much on an unnamed trail. It doesn't exactly have a name. It just has the name of the creeks and lakes that it's by. But I can't drop the name because we're still too close to people we have issues with from her past that have already threatened to make an appearance and cause issues. So once we're far enough up, I'll be able to tell everybody our exact locations. But we're heading towards the North Country Trail, and we'll be using that to go west across New York and then south into Ohio. But we're out near Caroga Lake area, so in New York. So that's why I'm trying to make one last ditch effort, because it's close enough for me to hike into Caroga Lake, even though it's like 10 extra miles every time I have to do the trip. And this will be the fifth time. The fifth time I have to go into town. So I'm hoping to make it my last. So I'm hoping we can raise up enough funds so that way I can get a nice, good bulk amount of food, and we'll be able to sustain ourselves well into the next town. And hopefully we'll have more support gathered up by the time we get there, because we're going to be doing the trail cleanups on the way. Um, it is absolutely disgusting how much garbage we've already been finding, cleaning out. Every day the wife comes up with a handful. Every time she goes down to the water, she's like, look what I pulled up.
Today was like 2 or 3 handfuls in total.
Yeah. We've gotten to the
Glass,
point.
metal, garbage, cans. You name it, it's there.
I didn't tell you I pulled up a folded piece that was right there just on the water's edge. It was all crushed into a rock, and it didn't look like nothing. And the water moved a little bit, and I saw the shiny. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I'm
Bud
finding a lot
Files.
in the water.
How's it going, Bud Files? We've got a ton of cleanup to do, just people leaving trash behind. So I started a fundraiser on Facebook, and I've been sharing that around. Hoping some of these trail communities get behind it and donate. I have the goal set for 5,000. It was just some random number I picked. It was just
It's not even the goal that we're trying to get to.
no.
It's just
that's like
it's
well above what we need. It's just I wanted to set the threshold so that way it would keep going well into the hike. So it's that's on my Facebook. I don't know if I have the Bud Files on Facebook. I gotta add you guys to my group. I've got a group and a page and all that. But thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow, her aunt's going to be dropping off the last couple of things, PayPal cards that we need, and then we'll be heading up starting Monday, weather permitting. But we have to get used to hiking in the rain and moving in the rain and inclement weather. So it might be a good point to start practicing that. So once again, I'm going to do a quick thank you to my patrons as usual: Farmer Jack, Cynthia, Smoked Out 420, D-Man 50, Pat, and One Anonymous. Also, our donors, uh, Swamp Rat, trying to go backwards. The Swamp Rat Nation. Uh,
There's like 2 page list
yeah, it's a
that you're
two-page list that I'm trying to come up with. Victoria May, Life Unfiltered, now called The Quiet Listener. Um, oh, man. Oh, Rockinor, our Aussie friend. Still can't believe how much it cost him to be able to actually done it. That is absolutely ridiculous. Almost twice.
It went from 20 to 20.
It went up.
It went up.
I mean, hey, don't argue with it.
I don't even know.
Her phone's been messing up like crazy. I have no idea why. Her battery has just been doing funny things, draining out of nowhere. And, but I'm on 46% already. So it might not be that much of a long one, uh, unfortunately. But we're hoping to be able to gather up some support and get some donations. I know I do that a lot, but we literally sustain ourselves with just the support you guys give us and the donations and everything else. I'm hoping to find some sponsors soon, so that way we can get some actual income coming through. But I honestly would just prefer to be able to sustain ourselves with the support from our following, simply because I don't want to sell out with businesses and companies and things like that. I'd rather make content for the people I want to make content for, which is you guys. My patrons, they have the ability to send me a message and ask for a video, and I make the videos that people ask for. Um, I did have a request for trapping and like natural survival skills and stuff like that, and that'll be included here soon. Especially if we aren't able to do a resupply run, only a handful of days away from having to be hunting and gathering. So that's that'll at least be fun to put on the channel. I just didn't want to have to rely on that for our nourishment. So I'm hoping to be able to gather some support and funds to be able to continue on without having to rely on the hunting and gathering skills.
No. Sorry. I'm probably not gonna be able to stay
And plus, you don't want to meet the boys once it starts getting too dark. We can hear them, but
up.
it's better that one of us is down there once it starts getting darker. That's why she's not in my live all the time. She's hanging out down there with the boys because we don't want to leave them by themselves.
My monster is a bit of a shit and
A mama's
doesn't
boy.
doesn't cope well without mom. He doesn't, and it's kind of too much sometimes, but I can understand that he feels the anxiety and everything else of being alone since he has been with so many different families and so many people,
In so many different
so
places.
many different places, and I understand it 100%. So I try to assure him that I'm not gonna leave him. He's not going anywhere, and he's never gonna leave me. He's never gonna leave me. He'll always be with me. He'll always be my baby. He's not going nowhere else to no one. Thought my bow was a spider inside my
That's the biggest thing out here is always checking your boots and your hats for spiders.
I took my shoe off today to fix it and had to kill a spider to put it back on, even though my foot was just in it.
So you had a spider hanging out with your foot the
No,
whole
no,
time.
no, no, no. He crawled up in it, and
The
I had
second you put
to
it down.
kill him. The second I had it on the ground without my foot in it.
And for my replay champions, I'm sorry the other night I didn't get to drop a code word. I got chased out of the area by prowlers. I have no idea what it was. I don't think it was the badger because it was a bit heavy. He was over here, and I kept hearing the heavy thumps and breathing heavy thumps, and I just kept flashing the flashlight like, "Hey, just give me a few minutes. I'll get out of your area. Just stop." A little disappointing. It says we have 0 watching in 15 minutes. I was hoping to get a group going. Unfortunately, but and I've been trying to think about my next survival challenge. I mean, we're in one long, prolonged survival challenge, but I still want to throw a challenge here or there. I still want to do one where I literally just sit in the woods, no fire, no shelter, nothing, and just show people how these overnight survival challenges really aren't challenges because you can literally just sit in the woods and overnight and sit there and chill out and do nothing and you'll survive. I just want to show people that because I know it's going to be boring and people are going to be like, "Oh, you're an asshole." I'm like, no, I'm just trying to show you guys how it really is. That you can just sit there in the woods as long as it's not serious inclement weather, as long as it's not freezing, you're just in a temperate zone and you're totally fine. As long as you're clothed, you can be fine all night. Shed a little light on the subject. It's an inside joke. The only thing I don't like is when I put the flashlight on my face, my teeth like amplify. It always makes me self-conscious. You are, and you do.
Yes, yes.
How's it going, everybody? Says someone just joined in. Thanks for being here. Say hiya. I do live stream to be able to interact with my viewers. I enjoy having that interaction. But I just keep having one pop in, go away, one pop in, go. Was hoping to gather a group together so we can hang out and chat and talk about our upcoming plans. But whenever I put fundraising in the title, it's usually when nobody shows up. So. You okay? So for everybody watching on the replay, if you did make it to this point, I would appreciate it if you have anything to offer, anything whatsoever. Any donation helps. Every cent counts, and everything builds up. So if you are seeing this and you haven't seen that we've moved forward, or even if you have, if you could drop us a donation, I would definitely appreciate it. Everything goes towards this adventure and cleaning up the trail, being able to get resupply. You go. It's and I appreciate everything that everybody does, every view, every like, every share, every subscribe, every donation. Appreciate it. So, don't trip. That's what I'm saying. More critters in the woods coming and visiting me. So how's it going? Keep saying we got one that pops in. Say hiya when you pop in. Let me know you're here. I appreciate each and every one of you coming in. So I like when we get a conversation going in the chat, even when people are just conversating with each other. The wife just went back to camp so that way she can keep an eye on the boys. It's starting to get dark, so we don't like to leave them by themselves for more than 10, 15 minutes. With the badger and bear, porcupine, skunks, and everything else. The boys are just troublemakers, and they aren't smart enough to know when it's time to back down. And Creature apparently likes to freak out when a bear comes around, tangles himself around the tree instead of being smart and just giving himself distance. But he's my special boy. He's my hunter and my tracker, but he's only got a pair of balls when Dad's around. That's when he's brave and he's ready to defend camp and everything else. So starting Monday, we're planning on making some more mileage. Uh, just waiting on the PayPal cards that were coming in. Her aunt's going to be bringing them up tomorrow, so we'll be able to access our PayPals and be able to use those as storage. So it's been the main reason why we've been waiting so long. I was waiting for a couple of harnesses and some geo tags for the boys, but it doesn't look like those are coming in anytime soon. I think I got scammed, but it is what it is. Uh, ordered that 2 weeks before we left, and they still haven't been shipped. But we're planning on making some mileage starting Monday, starting to move our way up the trail, and we'll be too far out of town to be able to do a resupply run. So we're trying to raise up some funds to do a resupply before then. So that way we can get our rations up and be able to last more than a week. Uh, we've got only a week's worth of food left, and we've got an easy month ahead of us hiking. So hoping that we can get some donations going, maybe add a couple of patrons. Uh, Everybody who joins my Patreon gets a shout out there on the bottom and in the end screen of my videos. If you're a creator, I shout out your channel on my community page and share that so that way you guys can get some exposure and people know that you are a good supporter. Can hear the critters running around. Checking my notifications periodically. So I hope everyone's having a good weekend. It was a pretty laid back Saturday. Sounds like there's a motorcycle rally going on around town. That's all we keep hearing echoing through the hills. One of the last good days that people can bring their bikes out, so they're enjoying it. Luckily, no more four wheelers recently, so don't got to worry about somebody trying to start some of that. Because apparently, letting you know that there's no motor vehicles allowed back here means that you want to kick my ass. Immaturity of people nowadays, though. Says we got two hanging out. Say hiya. Almost a half hour in. I've got 42% battery left. I do think it's funny every time I say how many I have, people always drop out within 2 weeks. But I don't mind sitting here talking to myself. It's actually why I started my YouTube, so that way I could talk and I don't have to worry about somebody interrupting me or cutting me off or just not listening. Even if no one's in here, the camera's listening. Oh, it's getting dark sooner now. There's just a little bit of light coming through the sky. You can see it behind me. But down here, it's almost dark. If I cover the light, you can't really see me. So it gets dark real fast now, which means winter is coming. And I bet you when I start using that in my titles and my thumbnails, when we wake up to frost, winter is coming, that's when my videos are going to start blowing up. But says we got two in here again. Say hi if you're hanging out. I enjoy interacting with my viewers and my subscribers and followers. Still am not entirely sure what people prefer to be called. But we're going to be making some mileage starting Monday. Finally going to be getting the last couple of pieces that we need. The PayPal cards came in, so I'll be able to access our accounts on there at stores. So if I get a different currency other than US dollars, if I get euros or pounds or something else through my PayPal, I'm not able to actually pull that off into my account that I normally purchase things from. So it was getting hard for me to get those last $5 that I've got in my account. Which $5 makes a difference. Every dollar counts, every cent counts. So we're going to be moving starting Monday, getting mileage back up the trail, and we'll be too far out of town to be able to easily walk down in and do a resupply run. So I'm hoping to get some donations in so that way I can do one last supply run. Our rations are down to about a week's worth, and it's going to be tough here coming up soon. I'm going to have to start hunting and gathering, and that'll be fun to share on my channel, but it's also going to take more time out of our day uh, between hiking, packing, unpacking, setting, and tearing down, moving all the gear and everything else. There's not a lot of time left in the day unless we're at one spot for an extended period of time like we were here. So second, I thought she took the walkie with her. Says we got three hanging out. Say hi, yeah. So are you all right? I had a pine needle in my hat throwing me off. It was sitting right there, creeping me out. So says we still got two hanging out. If you're able to, say hi in the comments. Let me know you're hanging out. Let me know who I'm talking to. And earlier I went to start going down the people who donated. I was trying to go down the list, but I just can't think straight right now. That's right. I left off on Rock and Ore and Swamp Rat, Victoria May. Oh, a lot of. I definitely appreciate everybody's support. We can't do this without you guys. Uh, like I said, we sustain ourselves solely with the support we get from you guys through donations or my Patreon. And I appreciate every single one of you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us and our mission. We plan on cleaning up every bit of trash that we find on the trail every step of the way. So I want to make the parks a cleaner place so people can enjoy them and actually be close to nature. So I'm hoping to get some volunteers to be able to meet us up at certain spots so that way we can offload some of this trash and people can bring it to the proper place. Obviously, I would, but don't have a vehicle and everything's by foot. I mean, if I have to, I'll hike bucket loads in. I mean, that's gonna suck, but we can do it. We're a half an hour in, 40% left on my battery. I was hoping some people would pop in. I know my live streams are kind of just out of nowhere pop up, but I don't always know when I'm going to have battery or signal to be able to do a live stream. I'm hoping to find a good spot so that way we can have a spot in camp to have signal. Down there where we're at right now, it's not enough signal. Oh, I hope this torn muscle in my side heals up too. That's, oh, it's a bad one. It hurts. But tired. It's also something about being out here. You kind of transition into the whole you're up when the sun's up, you go to sleep when the sun goes down because it saves on battery power, it saves on everything else. So it's just easier to run your day that way. I can just hear so many critters around. There's something big walking over there. Just shook a tree. Something medium sized over there, digging around at something. It can be so creepy out here listening to everything walk around. And I keep avoiding looking at the light directly because it's going to save my night vision. But I appreciate it. If you give this a like, if you're not subscribed, throw me a subscribe. If you have a community page, share it on that. If you have a Facebook, share it there. Try to get this out so we can get our message out. Try to get some support because we'll make it no matter what. But it would just be a lot easier and be able to share more. We're able to gather up support. Doing an eye shine check. I'm sitting super low so I can't see deep into the wood. But if I flash the light around, it should get most of the critters to go away. Man, my battery. 39%. I'm hoping to try to push it for an hour, see if people come in, hang out, see what's going on. But hiking from New York to Georgia is already a big challenge, and I wanted to make it more challenging, so we decided to start doing the cleanup. I mean, we were doing the cleanup anyway, but we decided to make it like a mission to clean up every piece of garbage that we found. Because I want to make it to Georgia before the end of the year to make it in time to go to Iraq's world's largest pizza party with the world's largest pizza. Iraq, I hope you see this sometime. I really do. I hope you catch wind that somebody is walking from New York to Georgia to be able to go to your party, because I really enjoy the message that you're trying to put out there. Uh, Eric, he threw a pizza party when he was like 5 or 6. No one showed up, and I definitely understand, because I've tried to throw a birthday party every year of my life since I was about 5, and no one has ever showed up. I invited my entire kindergarten class to come out to the camp my family owned. We had a campsite we owned at a camp, and it was a great place to have a party and friends and everything else. And I invited every single one of them, printed out directions and everything else. My mom got a cake, made a cake, can't remember which one, and had a bunch of decorations set out. Not a single person showed up. So I definitely understand. And I want to be there for his party and show my support for that, because I know how it is. It's definitely not a good feeling growing up. Most of my life I've spent without friends. Actually haven't really had friends until I started YouTube. I got all of you guys, and I've made quite a few friendships through this, and you guys are awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. You're my friends, you're my family, you're my tribe. That's why my link has the Modern Native tribe. Instead of just throwing a number or whatever at the end of the Modern Native, I wanted to make it something special. Because it's what you guys mean to me. You guys are my friends and my family and my tribe. I can't do this without you, because what would be the point if no one's watching? I mean, right now no one's watching, but I mean, my lives are sporadic. They're not scheduled, and on Saturdays, I think there's a lot of people that go live right about now, so I can understand why I don't have much traffic. Plus, I did a live this morning, dropped some videos. People didn't even get the notification for this, because YouTube only does a certain amount. Especially now that they're dropping the notifications for shorts, which is cool, but at the same time, it cuts down the notifications that I have to be able to get my actual videos out for my actual live stream. Asked some people to share it out and share it around, but I don't know if they got that message yet. Uh, and I've had a couple of people pop in, the Bud Files, ever present. They always pop in, say hi. And Indian Hemlock popped in. Definitely appreciate you popping in, hanging out. It's getting super dark now, but yeah, definitely got to say it is sometimes depressing when you're sitting here and almost 40 minutes in, and you got a 0 next to that eyeball that's sitting there. And I get it. People are busy. People don't always have time. But even if 10% of the 1,400 got a notification, that means I have a 0% click through on my notifications right now, if they even got them. Like I said, YouTube only does 3 notifications a day per channel. So I uploaded a video, did a live stream, uploaded a short, and uploaded a video. So that's already 4. And then I have my live stream now. So that's the 5th one. Almost nobody got this notification. Sometimes I got to remember to plan it like that, to not have any notifications go out until I do my live stream, let it go out. Because right as the numbers were building up earlier is right when I ended it, because I didn't have a lot of time to do it this morning. I just wanted to do my moment of silence to honor those that have been lost. Because there's a lot of loss going on right now. A lot of people are passing away. A lot of people are leaving this world. And it leaves those of us left behind with a hole in our heart or pain and suffering. So I wanted to offer my condolences, my best wishes for people who are dealing with that. So Says we got one popping in. Say hiya if you can. Doing a trail update. I know you can't see the trail. Doing a trail update about our plans coming up in the next couple of days. Going to be moving up the trail here in a couple of days. Finally getting the last couple of things that we've been waiting for. And covering some mileage. And again, anybody who can donate, I would appreciate any donations that anybody has to offer so we can go down and do a resupply before we're too far out of town. Because we're going to be making some serious mileage coming up soon. We'll be too far out of town for me to hike back and go down to be able to get supplies and everything else. So, but we're at 41 minutes, 37% on my battery. So, doing an eye shine check real quick, make sure nobody's sneaking up on me. I'm right in the middle of the trail, pretty far from camp, so it's a high traffic area by the water. So there's a lot of chance for critters to be able to be popping up and saying hi to me. Had a badger go right behind me the other day. Oh, that thing keeps flashing it. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Had to do a critter check with the eye shines just to make sure nobody was sneaking up on me. Ugh. But I mean, no one's hanging out. I don't see the point in having my screen on anyway. So, for those on the replay, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being here. I'm going to drop the code word DARK. D-A-R-K. Dark. Because it's getting dark early. The screen's dark right now, so you guys can't actually see anything. So, I'm not bothering with my headlamp in my face so I can save my night vision. So, if you are a replay champion, you're watching this on the replay, and you made it 42 minutes in, put it down in the comment section down below. Dark. Let me know you are a replay champion. And I still will be doing something special for you guys once I have a handful of replay champions built up. I've already got a few. I know who you are. Off the top of my head, I know Laura Jones is a big replay champion of mine. She's always watching my replays, always catching the replay code words. I think she's just excited to see what I'm going to be doing. And she's not often online when I am, so she wants to be able to catch those. But I'll be ending it here about 15 because there doesn't seem to be a lot of traffic flow, doesn't seem to be a lot of people popping in. And those that pop in haven't been commenting or chatting with me, so. But I mean, this is a demonstration of perseverance. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chats this whole entire time from 2 people. And I've maintained a cadence and a conversation the whole time with a blank screen with nobody here to enjoy it. I hear you. Give me some distance and just wait. I'm gonna leave soon. Sorry about that. I have to announce myself to the critters so that way they don't get too comfortable with trying to get too close. %36 on my battery. Oh. Just sit here in silence for a moment. Listen to the critters walking around. Listen here, heavy stepper. I hear you. It really does get so creepy out here. The only upsetting thing about having feathers all over my hat is I can no longer put my headlamp. But I used pitch on the feathers to secure them on. Oh, it's fine. Bushman Barnacles, how's it going? You're my sixth chat message in this whole time. It's dark right now, that's why my camera's not even on. I've literally had my viewer little bubble there keep saying 1-1-0-0-0-1-0-0-1. I haven't had anybody hanging out. Was trying to do a trail update and do a little fundraising because we'll be moving starting Monday, gaining mileage, and we'll be too far out of town to be able to do a resupply. So I was hoping to garner up some donations so I can go down and get the supplies we need to make it to the next town. Because we've only got about a week's worth of rations left, and that's going to be running out soon. And I'll have to be hunting and gathering on my way, but that's going to take so much time out of the day. It's going to be really hard to gain mileage and be hunting and gathering at the same time. We'll have to learn how to hunt and gather on the move. I hear you, you fucking creepy thing that keeps coming up on me. I've got a beastie trying to get close. So I was hoping, but nobody's really been hanging out. No one's popped in, stuck around. I've asked some people to share it on Facebook for me, so that way I could try to get some new people popping in or something. But and I know that, Blister and Barnacles. I know you're in a rough spot too. Uh, I would be a bin rat if there was any bins to rat into, but that's why I said we're pretty much going to be hunting and gathering soon if we're not able to get some donations and support gathered up. But the wife has a lot of activity down at camp right now, and she's getting worried about some of the animals around. I'm being circled by something big right now myself, So I'm actually getting a little concerned for my safety as well. But this is the only spot I have for signal to try to do a little bit of fundraising. Let me actually turn the camera around so you guys can see what I'm seeing. So if something happens, you guys will see it. Says we got two hanging out now. Thanks for being here. Going to be ending it here in a minute. The wife's worried about stuff. My headlamp is dying. My phone is getting low. We were hoping to build up some donations to be able to do a resupply run. But this is the most activity I've had on the live stream today. I explained it earlier in my live. It was because I uploaded 2 videos, did a short, and did a live stream already. So YouTube didn't send out a bunch of notifications to anyone because they only have a limit of like 3 notifications a day per channel. So I've already notified my subscribers 4 times today. So YouTube wasn't going to push this one out. But I'm trying to watch for critters right now, looking for eye shines. There was something heavy just over here behind that rock a few minutes ago. Starting to get a little concerned. There's been bobcats and mountain lions being spotted in the area, and there's bears up here. It's actually pretty dangerous for me to be sitting here in the dark. So, yeah, I saw a movement. Like I said, there's something just behind that rock. But it says we got 2 hanging out. I know Blister and Barnacles is one. Who's the other one? Say hi. I know you're here all the time, bro. And I messaged you on Facebook. I saw you made one. I was happy to see that. Anytime you need to, you can send me a message and talk to me. I know you're going through a lot, so you know I'm here for you. Bro, whatever that is, that's fucking big. I was trying to push it for the last little bit. Just trying to push it like 7 more minutes, but yeah. That might be 7 minutes longer than I have to live up here. And it's one of those things, every time I do one of those 360s, I'm like, oh, what's going to pop up behind me when I come around? And I need new batteries in my headlamp. But, so Blister and Barnacles, when you have time and you're up for it and you will need someone to chat to, send me a message. I added you to my groups and my friend list and invited you to like my page. So no matter which way you try to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me. And I'm sorry for anybody who's getting like motion sick trying to watch this, but if you're looking, if I were to turn the camera around and show you my face, all you'd be getting is flashed in your face. So if something comes charging me out of the woods, you guys will see it first. Alrighty. It's getting super spooky out here. Like I'm confident. I consider myself brave, but fighting something ferocious in the dark is not my idea of a fun time, no matter what. So starting to get skeeved out. Says we got 2 in here again. Whoever the other one is, say hi. As long as it doesn't get between me and the wife, I will be fine. Sorry for that. That's my little bark I do to get things away from me. It works pretty good. It spooks coyotes, spooks bears and cats. Coy dogs will just run at me, unfortunately. Marty is nuts about digging. How's it going? Doing a little trail update. This is the only spot I have signal. That's why I'm up here away from camp. We'll be gaining mileage starting on Monday. I'm hoping to raise some funds to be able to do a resupply run before we get too far away from town. And I'm doing some eye shine checks right now because I've got a lot of stuff prowling around me and there's bears in the area. So we're reaching out for donations to try to be able to do a resupply run. I've got my Cash App scrolling across the bottom and my PayPal. Anything and everything helps. If anybody has anything to offer, either now or on the replay, I appreciate it. We have a notebook that we keep track of everybody who donates because I am paying it back and forwards once we are in a secure position to do so. But right now, we sustain ourselves solely on donations and my Patreon. That's why I offer video requests, benefits, merch, gifts, and direct contact through my Patreon. So that way people can get something out of joining, but they also get to support me, my channel. We're hiking from New York to Georgia on foot the whole way, and we are cleaning up the trails and parks on our way. We have a goal of 100,000 pieces. That's our first goal. I know before the end of it, we're going to have millions. But our first goal was 100,000 pieces to collect, and then 1 million, and then we'll step up from there. But I want to clean up every piece of trash that we see on the way between here and Georgia. So if you can share this out and share this to people who would support that kind of endeavor, we're hiking like 1,500 miles and cleaning up every step of the way. I'm sorry if this is making anyone motion sickness, but it's the only way I have to check to see if there's an eye shine getting too close to me. But made it to 58, gonna make it to an hour. Luckily, haven't been attacked yet. Like I said, there's a lot of activity out here, so it's been a little concerning. Right past that rock, there's been something heavy getting really close to me. I chucked a rock out into the woods to spook it away, and I do this deep, heavy cough to try to bark things away from me, but it doesn't always work. And one last thank you to my patrons, Farmer Jack, Cynthia, Smoked Out 420, D-Man 50, Pat, and One Anonymous. I appreciate your guys' support, and I can't do this without you guys. It's a once a month subscription. I have a lot of cheap tiers, so it's easy for people to join up. Creators get a shout out on my community page at the end of each one of my videos and on each one of my lives multiple times. So anybody looking to get a little extra exposure and support someone at the same time, it's a good way to do it. And I appreciate every cent that people put towards to help us out. Like I said, we support ourselves solely on our donations. I offer YouTube advice, outdoors, skills, survival, bushcrafting, camping, hiking, pretty much everything to do with the outdoors. And I like that people connect to each other. So it says we got 3 hanging out, trying to do some scans of the woods to avoid anything getting too close to me. A lot of activity tonight. Animals are doing their fall push. Ooh, something just pushed against a tree, and that's heavy. I'm gonna start backing up. So I might end up running out of service, but I need to start covering some distance back to camp while I'm trying to do some last minute fundraising so that way we can do a resupply run. We are going to be covering mileage Monday, and I'll be too far out of town to be able to do a resupply run. So I'm hoping that we can get some donations, get some support, and I can get some supplies to get us to the next place, the next town, so that way I don't have to rely on hunting and gathering entirely to survive. So anything anybody has to offer is appreciated, but I think I have to get out of here because big heavy things are getting a bit too close. This has been a pattern. I keep getting shoved out of this area at night. I will be live streaming again tomorrow during the day before the storms hit. So I hope I will see you guys there. And remember, until next time, you're learning with Western Barnacles. Lots of movement. I don't know how much you guys can hear and it's coming across, but there's a lot of movement. So hopefully when I get back to camp and I grab a signal spot, I can get sporadic signal. I'll see some donations or something. I would really appreciate it. It would really help us out at the moment so I can do a resupply run before things get too far away. I appreciate it, everybody. Until next time, get out there, be a native, go beast.